Hey everyone, this is my first documentation of what I'm going to be doing with the shop's archive over this coming summer here in 2024. For those of you that haven't been following our social medias and don't know, we just recently received a grant from American Express in partnership with Main Street America, helping us to just keep our dream and mission alive of just expressing our love and the importance of history and art through fashion via our archives and being able to share that with anybody who cares to listen. So over the course of the summer, I am going to just be documenting what we're using that money for and the changes that are coming from it in the archive, something that I've held near and dear to my heart for years and years, and now I can finally start doing the things with it that I've been wanting to do for so long, but financially it just wasn't feasible. And if you can see, one of the biggest things we have are some new mannequins, and I wanted articulated mannequins just to show the clothing in a little bit more lifelike of a form. It's kind of a mess back here, but we have a male mannequin, we have several more female mannequins. They have a head, they have their little fingers that move. I'm excited to finally start getting these pieces on these mannequins and having them on display. Now yesterday I wanted to get a little bit of a head start on organizing all of the garments back here, of which we have many. So thankfully my mom came in and helped me a little bit. And I'm going through a complete reorganization of the archive. I've been slowly working on cataloging everything. But for those of you who have ever worked in retail and have to do with inventory, clothing, merchandise, that's a long process, especially if they're pieces that you're going to be keeping and putting online as an educational resource. So over here, we started organizing pieces. I have shawls and wraps. This is a beautiful leather one, and it has just this beautiful taffeta lining on the back. We have our vintage skirts. We have costumes. One of my favorites is this blue sequin shimmery leotard and this stunning little burlesque showgirl piece. I've used this in shoots before, plan on using it again. But kind of getting the costume pieces all in the same area. Going over here, we still have some more of the costumes. This cat costume has an amazing tail. I added rhinestones to the tail a while ago. I had a friend who wore this during a performance, stage performance, and I glitzed it out somewhere in here. I have the matching hat, which I hope to get on one of the mannequin forms. And you progress towards the wearable pieces. I have a 90s Delia's, of course, MTV sweater, cat sweater, and you start shifting towards some of the finer pieces, which I'm excited to start going over the history of. I've yet to tackle everything up here. We have our longer costume dresses mixed in with our formal wear. It's going to be a big task. I have my little area over here where I have this just amazing Charles James mannequin form from a studio in New York City. I got that from an auction of all of Doris Raymond's archive pieces. If you don't know who Doris Raymond is, as a vintage shop owner, she inspired me to start my vintage shop, but also as someone who collects pieces, she's just class act and I admire her so much. So having pieces from her collection is just invaluable to me. Of course, I have Elizabeth Taylor. I always have to have her everywhere I go because I have pieces of hers in the collection as well that I'm hoping to get displayed a lot better. But up here, we have some display pieces. It's not as organized as it used to be. I've been using things for shoots lately. If you're a Fargo native, we have Black's Shop Without a Name. We We have some local hat boxes there. Love my vintage lingerie, if you haven't already been able to tell. And on this rack I have the plethora of vintage boudoir lingerie pieces. Have this stunning 1960s Vanity Fair conversation piece. That's what they're often referred to as. And you have 24 karat gold that was painted over Chantilly lace for this beautiful effect. Absolutely stunning. I have some burlesque belts back here. Again, it was way more organized. As we've been shifting things, this has become a little bit of beautiful chaos. There's a lot of shoots coming up over the summer, so I need to really go full force into organizing. But in this kind of narrow strip that I've created here, there's still more racks of archival pieces. Some are a mix of things that are going to be sold, so I try to have those as separate as possible. Zooming over here, you can barely see I have a shelf that does have some kind of resource books on it. Let's see if I can actually get back there to show you. I just have to show that I'm literally walking through rows and rows and aisles of clothing. Not a horrible thing if you love clothing like I do, but this is my reality. But a beautiful one at that. As you can see back here, I have some different props and collections, and I have some research books that I like to use for pieces that I get in, and just learn the history of the things that I am collecting. Oh, my fake food, of course. But stay tuned. Can't wait to start sharing the new changes that are going to be happening here. I'm just excited to finally grow this into what I know it can be. See everybody soon.